This moment just flipped the entire narrative, and it's a brutal reality check for Caitlin Clark's critics. For weeks, it looked like the hype train had derailed. Clark was out with an injury, the fever was shaky, and loud voices, yes, even echoing Diana Taurasi's infamous reality check, were starting to claim the magic was gone. The momentum, supposedly dead. The prophecy, fulfilled. The haters, loud as ever. But then, boom, the Commissioner's Cup win. No one, not even ESPN, saw it coming. That victory didn't just shut up the noise, it blew the whole conversation wide open. The Indiana Fever weren't supposed to win this. Not with Caitlin just coming off injury. Not with the chaos surrounding the team. But they did, and now the tone around Clark's rookie year has shifted dramatically. This wasn't just a win, it was a moment. A game that redefined the team's narrative in 3 huge ways. And if you caught Caitlin's post-game comments, you already know this story is far from over. In fact, her words may turn out to be prophetic. So if you're celebrating this win, hit the comments with a trophy emoji right now, because we're about to break down exactly how this upset became a defining moment in Caitlin Clark's season. Let's start at the beginning. This version of the Indiana Fever, this is exactly what fans were promised when the season started. Hype was sky high. The Now You Know campaign rolled out like a warning shot. Key signings, big statements. And of course, the league's most talked about rookie came back looking stronger, sharper, more locked in than ever. Their opening statement, a dominant win over the Chicago Sky that pulled in a ridiculous 2.7 million viewers. But momentum turned messy, fast. A controversial hate speech investigation, Caitlin's 5-game absence, and a serious dip in performance from Dana Evans. It felt like the train was derailing in real time. Just when fans thought they had some light, Caitlin's huge return against Liberty, the very next game turned into a demolition derby. That wasn't basketball. That was borderline WWE. Marina Mabrey and others were playing with reckless abandon, while the refs swallowed their whistles. It all boiled over in that matchup against Seattle. Garbage time. No need to be on the floor. And that's when it happened. Caitlin's injury that knocked her out of the Cup final. Suddenly, the story flipped.
ESPN posted, I think around the 3rd quarter, at least that's when I was notified about it, that the Lynx dominate the Fever to win the Commissioner's Cup. And I took a screenshot. This is totally my screenshot, so I went and I verified this because I just...
Again. No clock. No chance. And to make it worse, ESPN face-planted mid-broadcast with one of the cringiest, most out-of-touch moments fans have seen all season. And trust, fans clocked it. Now the Fever weren't just underdogs. They were an afterthought. No clock, no spotlight. But what happened next was wild. The team rallied. The bench showed up. The doubters got quiet. And ESPN, let's just say their tone changed real fast once the Fever started pulling away. This wasn't just a team winning a trophy. This was a statement. Caitlin Clark didn't even need to touch the floor for the Fever to shake the league up. And when she did speak post-game, her comments weren't just humble, they were loaded. Because what she said, that might just be the clearest warning yet. They're only getting started. Interview 236. And yes, I double-checked. ESPN really left that headline on screen for the entire game. They didn't update it until the final buzzer sounded. Unbelievable. But here's what actually mattered. Even without Caitlin Clark, the Indiana Fever showed up and showed out. After falling behind early, they ripped off an 18-0 run and completely flipped the game. Natasha Howard straight up spoke her MVP into existence with a dominant performance. The Fever didn't just win, they made a statement in Minnesota's house. And the internet, it went wild. Fans and critics alike realized this was bigger than just a win. It was a team-level glow-up, and Caitlin Clark, she walked away with a title without even stepping on the court. And that right there is what made her critics completely lose their minds. The only card they had left, the last sliver of ammo, was that Caitlin Clark hadn't won a championship. Forget the records, the sold-out crowds, the back-to-back NCAA finals. No ring, no crown. That's why ESPN had the audacity to leave her off their list of the top 5 greatest college players ever. The same tired narrative kept getting recycled. Angel Reese is a winner. Caitlin isn't. Never mind that Clark outshines her in nearly every statistical and cultural category. They hung their hat on that one ring. But now, the Commissioner's Cup just yanked the rug out from under that whole argument. Of course, the second the Fever won, the critics scrambled to rewrite the rules. It doesn't count. She didn't play in the final. It's not a real championship. But that logic falls apart fast. Let's be real. This team doesn't even get to the final without Caitlin Clark dropping 32 points and nearly notching a triple-double against the undefeated Liberty. She torched the top team in the league. She crushed expectations. She got the Fever to the big stage. And just because she didn't play in that final game doesn't erase the work she did to get them there. This idea that she somehow didn't earn the ring, it's a joke, and fans know it. Meanwhile, the same people crying rig were hyping Angel Reese's unrivaled championship like it was the Olympics. She didn't just miss the final. She wasn't even in the building. But social media crowned her anyway, adding a second ring to her resume like she led the charge. No pushback, no skepticism, no cries of it doesn't count. Just praise. But when Clark helps her team reach the Commissioner's Cup final with signature wins and the Fever finish the job, suddenly it's shady? Please. The double standard is wild, and it's not subtle anymore. The critics keep moving the goalposts, and fans are done pretending not to notice. And what really stung? The Fever didn't win on a fluke. They didn't get lucky. They walked into the house of a 14-2 Minnesota Lynx squad, arguably the league's best team, and shut them down. Sure, there were plenty of Iowa fans in the crowd, but that was still a true road game. And the Fever? They earned it. Natasha Howard showed why Indiana brought her in. Sophie Cunningham came alive in the clutch. Aaliyah Boston and Lexi Hull proved they are not just supporting players, they are building blocks. Are the Fever perfect? Of course not, but the progress is real, and this one made it impossible to ignore. And just like that, the energy around this team flipped. This is what winning does. It changes the temperature. It silences the noise. And as promised, this one game shifted the narrative around the Fever in 3 massive ways. Stick around, because we're about to break those down. And if you're still here, smash that like button and drop a trophy emoji if you're celebrating this win. More rewrites? Just drop the next chunk. Let's go viral. This team once looked disjointed, but a mid-season championship has a way of rewriting the energy. Let's be clear, they didn't get here by luck. They knocked out the Liberty and the Lynx, 2 of the toughest teams in the league. That's no small feat now. The Fever finally feel connected, versatile, and more confident than they've been all year. Especially with Ari McDonald finding her place in the rotation, this team is no longer just riding Caitlin Clark. They're growing into their own identity. And this win gives Caitlin Clark exactly what she needed: time. Earlier in the season, a lot of people were wondering if she'd been rushed back from injury. But with the Fever proving they can win without her, that pressure has lifted. Instead of playing it close to the vest, the team is announcing early when she won't suit up, like they did before the Aces game. That's a mindset shift. It shows they are prioritizing long-term health over short-term hype. This is how you protect your franchise player. And with the team gaining confidence, Clark can return without being forced to play hero ball every night. And when she does return, she's stepping into a team that's finally found rhythm. Ari McDonald is cooking. Natasha Howard looks unstoppable. Aaliyah Boston and Lexi Hull are steadying forces. Clark doesn't have to carry the weight of the world anymore. And with momentum building, the Fever even have options. Rumors are swirling about trade possibilities, especially with room under salary cap. That should scare every critic who counted them out. Because now the Fever are deeper, tougher, and more unified. And as for all the trash talkers, they're getting real quiet. But let's talk about the pettiest moment of all. Clark finishing 9th in player voting for the All-Star game. 9th, behind one of her own teammates. Come on, the excuses don't hold up. She's been double-teamed all year, playing through injuries, still delivering elite-level performances. And this is a respect she gets? It's not a stat-based vote. It's a statement, and not a fair one. The fans love her. The media follows her. The ratings prove her impact. But clearly, the players have a different agenda. This wasn't a ranking. This was a message. And that message, it was ugly. It said, We don't care what she's doing for the league. We're going to pretend she's not the biggest story in basketball. America's behind her. The ratings are exploding, but the players can't stand her. And no, this isn't about missing a few games. This is something else. This is an activist vote, driven by ego, jealousy, or both. It's petty. It's childish. But here's the part that backfired. That same week, the Fever went and won a championship without her. The critics, they are shaken. Not because she's coming back, but because she's coming back stronger. Because what does a fully healthy Caitlin Clark plus a surging Fever team mean? More headlines, more record-smashing TV ratings, more new fans. And oddly enough, that's what some people don't want. Because deep down, they're not just threatened by Clark's game. They are threatened by the change she represents. They don't want the new audience. They don't want to share the spotlight. They like the WNBA as a tight-knit club. But Clark opened the doors to the world, and now everyone's watching. And that makes some people deeply uncomfortable. And you really see that tension in this old clip. NBA players, guys who financially supported and publicly defended the WNBA for decades, are being called out as if they're the problem, as if they owe more. And it's ridiculous. The NBA has pumped hundreds of millions into the W, kept it afloat during losing years, and promoted it through their biggest stars. The league is still running at a loss. But now with Clark here, there's finally hope for sustainability, for independence. That should be something everyone celebrates. Instead, some want to gatekeep it all away. This isn't just about Caitlin Clark. It's about a league that has never been closer to standing on its own, and somehow, part of it is resisting the very wave that could take them there. But the truth is, Clark didn't steal attention. She owned it, and she's bringing the entire league up with her. The hate, the pettiness, that's just noise from people scared of change. But guess what? That change is already here, and they can either embrace it or get left behind. The pressure of attention is real, especially for players used to a smaller, loyal fan base. But the game has changed. A resurfaced clip from Lisa Leslie spells it out. This league's survival is always dependent on outside funding. Growth is happening, yes, but it's delicate. Some players are acting like the WNBA is suddenly too big to fail. But real sustainability doesn't come with instant rewards. The first profits won't go to raises. They'll go to paying back the investors who kept this league alive. There's even talk of a strike, with some convinced the fans will stick around regardless. But risking Caitlin Clark's audience? That's a gamble the league might not survive. And let's be honest, some players aren't handling the spotlight well. That heat? It's scorching. The crowds, the online chatter, the constant pressure, it's unlike anything they've experienced before. The truth? The new fans are overwhelming the WNBA, and it's making some veterans uncomfortable. Yes, Caitlin Clark brought record-breaking numbers. Yes, she's a topic on First Take nearly every day. But to some, that spotlight feels unfair. Last year's WNBA had storylines and joy. Now it's all Caitlin. And whether it's jealousy, resistance to change, or something else, the resentment is growing, and it's obverse. There's something else here, too, something harder to talk about. For years, WNBA players called out the media. They don't promote us. They don't care. It's sexism. But now, the golden goose arrives, and suddenly they hate the look of it. She's a white girl from Iowa, now Indiana. And while no one wants to say it out loud, that's part of the discomfort. Because it's not just about attention. It's about who is getting it. It's messy. But that wave of attention they always beg for, it's here. And they're turning their backs on it. Caitlin didn't ask to be the face of the W, but she's carrying the league whether they like it or not. All this is creating a new narrative. Caitlin Clark and the Fever versus the rest of the league. And it's not just internet drama. You can feel it. Caitlin feels it. Her teammates feel it. After winning the Commissioner's Cup, her tone in post-game interviews said it all. Guys, I'm just pissed. That wasn't just about a game. It was about everything. The 9th place All-Star ranking? A joke. The referees letting constant hits slide? Obvious. The critics aren't backing down, and Clark knows it. Her frustration wasn't just heat of the moment. It was a warning. This tension is only going to grow. But the Fever? They are rising anyway. Even with non-stop travel, Even with half the league against them, they've proven they are championship contenders. Winning in hostile arenas? Done. Winning without Clark on the floor? Check. This team has depth, chemistry, and now confidence. They've been through the fire, and it's made them tougher. But they're going to need every bit of that toughness, because the WNBA Civil War is just getting started. Clark's only path forward is simple. Keep winning. Silence the noise with scoreboard numbers. That's how you earn respect, even from your loudest haters. And now, it's about defending that title. The second half of the season is here, and the target on Caitlin's back is bigger than ever. But if the Fever keep this up, if they double down on team chemistry, lean into their growing fan base, and protect Clark at all costs, then forget survival. They'll be the team to beat. So if you're still riding with the Fever, drop a trophy in the comments to let the league know where the real fans stand. This story is only getting started, and we'll be right here tracking every chapter.